So long, dental plan. Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Welcome, I am the Kaiju no Kami, and today I'm going to review the newest incarnation of Godzilla, Shin Godzilla from 2016. And do note, those of you who may not have seen this movie yet, and those who may be just coming to my review for the first time ever, there are going to be spoilers in here. So if you don't want to be spoiled, watch the movie first, then come back to my review. But if you don't care, enjoy. The world has gone through a lot of changes since Godzilla Final Wars came out, with the bankruptcy of countries, economic depressions, the fall of tyrannical figures, but most tragic of all is the amount of natural disasters that have occurred since then. Japan was hit by their most powerful earthquake ever, which triggered a devastating tsunami. With thousands of deaths and billions of dollars in economic damages, Japan was ravaged as if they were hit by another atomic bomb. Worst of all, no one in the government really knew how to handle this situation. Thus, it was only fitting that this would be the theme for the newest iteration of Godzilla, brought to life by animator, director, actor, writer Hideaki Anno. Those of you who are familiar with the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion may recall his name, as he was its creator. Additionally, Shinji Higuchi, best known for his effects work in the Kanekyo Gamera trilogy and director of the live-action Attack on Titan movies, also helped direct the film. This caused a lot of hype surrounding this new incarnation of Japan's nuclear behemoth titled Shin Godzilla. Was it worth it though? Does it live up to the hype? Well, let's take a look and find out. Our movie begins when soldiers investigate an abandoned boat floating around in Tokyo Bay when an explosion occurs. From here, we are introduced to hundreds of politicians and a bunch of meetings over the situation, with the most important person being Rondo Yaguchi.
総理、何者かが海底にいる可能性があります。
何者って？なんだ？
巨大な生物と推測します。ネットにはそれを裏付ける動画も存在します。
Hiroki Hasegawa plays this man who is frowned upon for always trying to think outside of the box. What? A politician is actually trying to think outside of the box? Get out of here, dude. We don't need your kind around these parts. Go away. Anyway, after changing rooms about 100 times and dismissing Yaguchi's inquiry about the explosion being caused by a sea creature, a giant tentacle appears.
閣僚会議の席だ。冗談よせ。尻尾。尻尾ですね。
矢口の冗談が現実ならば受け入れるしかないか。
事案と考えます。
Must resist urge to make schoolgirl joke. The urge is rising like the tentacle.
これは一体何だ？
巨大不明生物としか呼称しようがありませんが。
I'm pretty sure you mean massive unidentified terrestrial organism, not whatever the heck that was. Joking aside, the tale begins to move towards land, so a group of biologists are called in.
誰も見たことのない水生生物の新種。それ以上は現物を調査しないと何にも言えません。
憶測で判断しては、もはや生物学と言えんでしょうが。
I'm going to call you the Jon Snow group. Why, you ask? Well, because...
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
The deputy director of the Nature Conservation Bureau, known as Hiromi Ogashira, played by Mikako Ichikawa, is called into action. She hypothesizes the creature's ability to move on land, but it is quickly rejected by experts.
うちの課長補佐が失礼なことを言っておりますが、先ほどの有識者の結論も上陸行動は常識として考えられないと。
そうか。
This leads us into a hilarious press conference.
上陸という事態は想定しづらく、理解します。巨大不明生物の上陸はありえませんので。
総理、会見中に失礼します。
え？カマタンに？
Serves you right.
You know nothing.
Panic occurs. Bloody hell. The government has to go through several regulations before they can use military force.
第76条の武力攻撃と解釈して、防衛出動の方が武器使用に対応しやすいんじゃないか。
武力攻撃と解釈するのは難しい。武力攻撃を加えてくる主体を国、または国に準ずるものと想定している。
防衛出動となると、逃げ遅れた住民を戦闘事態に巻き込む覚悟が必要になります。
いやいや、それは。
日米安保を適用し、
在日米軍に駆除を肩代わりしてもらうのはどうですか。
いえ、まずこの国の政府と自衛隊が動くべきです。安保条約があっても米国はあくまで支援の立場です。
いえ、国民に被害が出た場合、自衛隊の存続に関わる可能性があります。
Can you just get to fighting the damn creature already?
Why are you so salty?
The monster collapses momentarily, only for it to mutate. This isn't even my final form. Sadly, the military is unable to fire due to fleeing civilians.
天井に住民がいる。
射撃を開始して構いませんか。
中止や攻撃中止。自衛隊の弾を国民に向けることができない。
Seriously? Thus, the creature escapes into the bay.
巨大不明生物は天王洲運河より離岸、首都高羽田線を破断し、京浜運河から東京湾へ移動中。
You know nothing.
The next day acts as any other.
東京証券取引所は通常通りと。
Response teams are organized to adhere to every scenario for the beast's return. Oh, and those of you who have seen Gamera the Brave or Kamen Rider Ryuki may recognize this guy, Kanji Suda.
便宜上私が仕切るのはそもそも出世に無縁な霞が関のはぐれ者、一匹狼、変わり者、オタク、問題児、鼻つまみ者、厄介者、学会の異端児、そういった人間の集まりだ。気にせず好きにやってくれ。
Hiromi discovers that the monster runs on nuclear energy.
あれだけのエネルギー、まさか核分裂。
冗談っぽいです、小頭さん。ありえませんよ。
You know nothing.
こんなんありかよ。
見てください。
小頭さんの言うことが正しかったということか。
ごめんなさい。
Meanwhile, a woman from the US, or claims to be as her poor English speaking skills say otherwise, since actress Satomi Ishihara is full Japanese.
There is a movement centered on China and Russia to take Godzilla from under the control of the Japanese government and put it under the control of international organizations. Many countries are aligned with the opinion too.
Hell, the translator speaks better English than she does.
As the army expressed women as the backbone of the government, we have to respectfully decline your offer to women at the center of decision making.
As I was saying, this woman named Kayako Ann Patterson meets up with Yaguchi, handing him a bunch of documents on a Japanese scientist named Goro Maki in exchange for what they found on his boat. Goro Maki? Where have I heard that name from before? Oh yeah! That's the name of the leads in both Son of Godzilla and in the 1984 movie. It turns out that Goro had predicted this scenario and named the monster Godzilla.
That's right. It's a DOE's code name, Godzilla.
言いにくいな。日本名は本来のゴジラにしよう。
Yaguchi's team uses their newfound information and Hiromi's knowledge to develop a coagulant that may be capable of freezing the Titanic beast, only for him to return the next day in another form. The military is naturally deployed. I wonder how well this is gonna go.
You know nothing.
US stealth bombers are called in to assist while everyone, including the response teams, are evacuated. That is awesome! And purple's my favorite color, so that's even more awesome. Aw, not the Prime Minister. I will miss him. He was a true leader.
その推移を見極める義務が、それに富を置いて、我々だけ逃げ出すことはできん。
All of these attacks render Godzilla into a deep slumber, or cooldown mode, as it were.
Impossible! The thing is brand new. One of these buttons has got to reactivate it.
The government has to appoint an acting PM to handle this crisis.
伸びちゃったよ。やっぱ総理の仕事って大変だな。
Soggy, like you. During this time, being the impatient assholes that we are, America decides to attack Godzilla in 12 days using nuclear missiles. Because that makes so much sense, using nuclear missiles on a nuclear-based creature.
You know nothing.
私に即時退去命令が出た。
そうか。その可能性が高い。ということだ。
Hey, camera, we're back here. With the help of other nations, Maki's secrets are revealed.
この抑制剤を同時に投与すれば血液溶剤の性質を維持できる。
Production on the coagulant they talked about earlier begins. France helps to delay the US attack, allowing Yaguchi's dental plan to be executed.
Dental plan!
Planes, trains, and buildings knock Godzilla to the ground in order to administer the coagulant. Begin Operation Cavity Search. In time, Godzilla gets back up, only to realize how stoned he is from the oral procedure. Everyone is relieved, and we get some parting words between Yaguchi and Kayako.
やめないで。私が大統領の時に矢口が総理なのが理想的なビジョンだから。
理想的な傀儡だろ。
Oh, and one final scene of Godzilla showing off his nuclear family. Yeah, you can't just end like that. You need to tell me what this means. Does this mean there are going to be little Godzilla creatures now roaming around all of Japan? Is Godzilla going to wake up again in like 10 years' time from being a giant statue? Is there going to be a theme park around him? I need to know. You need to tell me. You're not going to tell me for a while. Because apparently there's not going to be a sequel to this movie until 2021. And who knows if they're going to actually do a sequel then. Well, whatever. That was Shin Godzilla, and overall, I enjoyed it. It is a very strange and polarizing movie. There is a lot of information thrown at the audience that it can leave one lost within the first 10 minutes. If this happens, you may find yourself having a hard time enjoying the film. It also doesn't help that the movie features Anno's standard tropes, from vexing political conversations, black screens of text, to close-up facial shots. There is a lot of in-your-face moments that if you blink, you may miss something important in the vast sea of information. Of course, the problem is, when you do pay attention, you come to realize that only a fraction of what is being discussed is actually important. In the words of one of the politicians,
形式的な会議は極力排除したいが、会議を開かないと動けないことが多すぎる。効率は悪いがそれが文書主義だ。民主主義の根幹だよ。しかし手続きを経ないと会見も開けないと。
It does go to show how no one really knows how to deal with a situation of this caliber, be it a fictional monster attack or a natural disaster. It is all the same in the end. With that said, if you are looking for a more traditional kaiju movie with deep characters that grow throughout the film and non-stop monster action, this is definitely not the film for you. I cannot blame anyone if they find themselves hating this movie, as it is completely different from what one might have imagined. I do think those that felt this way should give the film a fair chance with a second viewing, as they might feel differently fully knowing what to expect the second time around. I personally love it. No, it is not my favorite Godzilla film and probably will never break my top 10 list, but I do find it to be more enjoyable with each viewing compared to the last. You might too. Add on top the beautiful cinematography that encompasses this film, especially in its few action scenes, as we get some spectacular camera angles from behind tanks and helicopters. Not to mention the tracking shots that occur in some areas. I also love the shots from the street level that really make Godzilla horrifying. Then of course there is the excellent way his atomic breath is executed, which gives him his own sense of identity compared to other versions. Getting to see it expunged in the form of laser beams from his spines and tail were truly remarkable. Although to some, it may feel unnecessarily over the top. The biggest disappointment I have is the CGI used for Godzilla. It is borderline terrible and sometimes comes off too cartoony, especially on his early forms. I do like the concept of Godzilla evolving as the movie progresses, especially since that hasn't been done before, but I don't know why it had to be CG. I mean, I understand Toho had a suit and it didn't work out the way they wanted, so they had to go all CGI, but still. The problem with it is that the movie just didn't have the budget to pull off an all CG monster, so he will often look as animated as he is, which could pull you out of the immersion. Thankfully, the execution manages to distract you from that aspect more often than not. Except for the dentistry scene. Good God, do those vehicles look dreadful. I feel like I'm watching a PS4 cutscene. Additionally, why does Godzilla not have a subtitle? Every other character gets a subtitle to give their name and their job description. Sometimes they get them multiple times throughout the film. Why don't we have Godzilla, Destroyer of Tokyo, for when he first appears on screen? Lastly is Shin Godzilla's soundtrack. Some of the tracks use their classic pieces from Akira Ifukube, and as cool as that was to do, it sounds off. They inserted mono pieces into a modern day soundtrack, which meant they had to gimp the movie down to a 3.1 audio track rather than the standard 5.1. This was an odd choice and sometimes feels out of place. On the other hand, Shiro Sagisu's musical aspect fits the tone of the film to a T, albeit even he just reused some of his own previous works, as he took some of his music from Evangelion and used it here. Thankfully it works, but if you have watched Evangelion, you were probably picturing a scene from that show when you should be watching this movie.
私も専門外でよく理解できないけど、構造レイヤーの解析表らしいの。彼が本国に残していた最終データには意図的な空白があり解析不能だった。やはりこれと合わせると完全版になるみたい。
我々も解析を。
In the end, Shin Godzilla is not a film for everyone, yet all Godzilla fans should check it out at least once. Sure, I do believe you could shave off about a half hour from the film and not really lose anything as far as the narrative is concerned, although that may diminish the social commentary on how inept politics are to handle a situation like this. I don't know. What I do know is that it did win some well-deserved awards in Japan, and that is pretty awesome, especially for a Godzilla movie. Let's see, I don't think I have anything else to really say about this movie that I didn't already say. So until next time, bye.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.